Hey everyone, Demonite here. The Mutator arena in the pre-sequel offers a variety of different game modes and modifiers which alter the player's stats, enemy behavior or the arena itself. However, the game doesn't tell you a whole lot about each mode or modifier, so I did some testing to see what exactly they do, and that's what this video is going to be about. Let's begin with the game modes. The first two, Half Gravity and Operation Vacu-Suck, do exactly as they say. Half Gravity halves the gravity in the arena, and Vacu-Suck puts it in a state of vacuum. Mag Density grants you plus 200% magazine size, but also triples your reload time. It's important to note that the magazine size is additive to other mag size boosts, while the reload penalty is multiplicative, meaning it will always triple the time it would take to reload a weapon. Hyperspeed grants plus 50% movement speed and plus 200% reload speed. It also adds weapon swap speed and increases enemy movement speed, but unfortunately I don't know the exact values here. Flow is a very odd game mode. It scales the damage you deal based on your current velocity. There's no penalty for standing still, you just deal regular damage, but as soon as you start moving in any direction, be it forwards, backwards, left, right, down or up, you get a multiplicative damage boost. It seems to scale linearly, and as far as I could tell, there is no upper limit, at least no limit you could realistically reach. So you can deal insane amounts of damage by speeding around the arena. For reference, just at regular walking speed you gain plus 44% damage, and jumping around while walking would increase that. However, not every damage type is affected by flow. Grenade damage in any form or damage from shields such as Nova shields is unaffected. Shoes made of acid makes you suffer corrosive damage over time as long as you're touching the ground. Once you jump, the damage ticks stop. It's a damage over time effect because the damage per tick fluctuates slightly, it can't place another corrosive DOT on you, and it also cannot be reduced with corrosive damage reduction from, for example, a Juggernaut OS-kit. Other forms of damage reduction that don't reduce specific elements work though. However, even though it acts like a DOT in every other way, you cannot bypass it with an alkaline shield. The damage of shoes made of acid scales with your level and the difficulty of the arena. At level 70 and difficulty 0 it deals roughly 2500 corrosive damage per tick, so about 1500 damage to health and 1000 damage to shields. On difficulty 9 it's roughly 46,250 damage per tick. Vampires makes you suffer constant damage ticks to your health, but killing an enemy completely refills your health. The damage is also based on the arena's difficulty. At difficulty 0 it's 2% of your max health per tick, and at difficulty 9 it's 8.6%. It can also be reduced with damage reduction. Bloody Good grants you plus 20% action skill cooldown rate, however, while your action skill is active you suffer damage over time. This damage does not scale with the arena's difficulty, just with your level. At level 70 it's roughly 4700 damage per tick, and again it can be reduced with damage reduction. Lastly, Glass Turtles grants you plus 250% shield capacity, additive to other shield capacity buffs, but it also reduces your max health by 90% multiplicatively. Those were all the game modes, now on to the modifiers. Butt Slayers grants you plus 176% multiplicative slam damage. Rocket Arena grants you plus 200% additive reload speed, but reduces your launcher damage by 50% multiplicatively. This damage penalty does not apply to Grenade Splash or directly added launcher splash damage. Separately added launcher splash damage is still reduced though. Also, you can't bypass this penalty by switching to a different weapon before your rockets hit an enemy. CBQ grants plus 33% additive melee damage and a huge plus 100% multiplicative shotgun damage, which also boosts all splash damage. It also states that it increases the damage of splitter lasers, but that isn't actually true. It doesn't change anything about splitters as far as I could tell. The shotgun damage can be applied to other gun types if you fire the weapon and then switch to a shotgun before the bullets hit an enemy. Rangefinder grants a multiplicative plus 100% damage to sniper rifles and railguns. It only boosts gun splash damage though, not grenade splash. I also tested how it interacts with Athena's Tear, and it is multiplicative to that skill. Again, the damage boost can be applied to other weapons by switching to a sniper or railgun. TORGUE approves this shit, grants a multiplicative plus 100% damage to TORGUE pistols, assault rifles and shotguns and all their splash damage. These damage boosts cannot be applied to other weapons by switching. Laser Show grants plus 33% multiplicative laser damage, but it does not boost launcher or grenade splash, only gun splash damage. It's also multiplicative to Athena's Tear, and the damage boost can be applied to other weapons by switching. Spray and Pray grants plus 33% multiplicative gun damage while you're hip firing. The bonus applies to any bullets fired as long as you aren't aiming while they hit an enemy. So you can aim with a weapon, shoot at an enemy and stop aiming before it hits to get the bonus damage. It also doesn't boost launcher or grenade splash damage, but it is multiplicative to Tear. Critipistols grants minuscule plus 8.25% pistol crit damage. It's type B, so multiplicative, but it still pales in comparison to other modifiers. Once again, you can fire a different weapon and then switch to a pistol to receive the crit damage, but this isn't surprising because crit damage always works like that. And finally, MOAR dots grants plus 100% damage to damage over time effects for every DOT applied to an enemy. It also mentions an increased status effect chance, but unfortunately I don't know the exact value for that either. The damage buff is multiplicative to other damage over time boosts, including stuff like the overload glitch effect. However, multiple DOTs of the same element don't count towards this, they have to be different elements. As such, the biggest bonus you can have is plus 400% damage over time if the enemy is burning, corroded, electrocuted and frozen all at the same time. What's interesting about this modifier is how it interacts with Athena's skill Rend. Rend applies a bleeding damage over time effect to enemies, however it doesn't increase the damage of itself or other DOTs, but other DOTs do increase the damage of Rend. This is pretty cool because burn and electrocute DOTs synergize very well with Athena by default. Of course it's not a huge game changer, especially considering that other game modifiers are still better, but it's something to keep in mind if you are playing with MOAR dots. And that is all about the Mutator arena. In the description below I will put a link to a Google document that contains all the info of this video, which will also be updated should there be any additional info at a later date. As always, thanks for watching and see ya everyone.